Learners at home, I am Ogunshola Samson Olumuyiwa, your social studies teachers once again. We are here to discuss social studies as usual. This lesson is for primary 1 to 3. And like I said earlier, it's titled Water, Social Studies. Yeah. So, now, what is water? What is water? Water is a liquid. I think everybody will agree to that. It's a liquid which is odorless, colorless, and tasteless when it is pure. That is, when it is clean. That means we have clean water and unclean water. I've heard some children say that water is odorless, tasteless, and colorless. It is not all water that is odorless, tasteless, and colorless. It is only the water that is clean. If you want to use odorless, tasteless, and colorless, then you have to put it good water or clean water. So water is a liquid which is colorless, odorless, and tasteless when it is pure, when it is good, or when it is clean. Now, where can we get water from? I mean to say, what are the sources of water? Where do we get water from? The first source of water that we mentioned this day is the stream. The stream is a source of water. Yes, spring is a source of water. Water coming or oozing up from the ground. Water oozing from the ground is a source of water. That is spring. We have borehole in our environment. Boreholes are drilled by specially made machines. They go deep into the soil to the water level and bring out water for us to use. It is drilled, we drill borehole, and it serves as a source of water to us. Boreholes are in different forms. We have mechanical boreholes, we have motorized boreholes. Motorized boreholes are the ones that are powered by electricity, while mechanical are the ones that are hand pump. The next source of water that we'll talk about again is the well. We get water from the well. A well is a pit, but not just a pit. We dig deep into the ground, but not as deep as we go when we are drilling for borehole. We dig into the ground to a water level, and this water level is not as far as that of the borehole. Yes, that's the popular rain that we all know. We have rainy seasons in Nigeria, we have good weather. Rain falls in Nigeria regularly. So that rain that falls on the roof of your house is a source of water. Yes, river. We have the river as a source of water. Now I want to differentiate between a stream and a river. A stream is not as big as a river. But if one is not careful, is going to confuse the two. A river moves faster than a stream, and it's not as, a stream is not as big as a river. Okay. We have the oceans and the seas as another source of water. Oceans and seas are interrelated. The oceans are deeper than the seas. We can go to seashores to play. Stepping into the sea further takes us to a deeper place, which is the ocean. Now, what are the uses of water? We have water that we use in our houses. What do you use water to do in your house? Making use of water in the house is called domestic use of water. What are the domestic use of water? We drink water. But mind you, when I say we use water in the house, domestic use, that does not mean that when you are in the school, you don't drink water. You can still drink water anywhere, but more of it is done at home. And in most cases, you take your drinking water from your house to your school. So we use water for drinking. Water is used for cooking. Cooking in the kitchen. Whether it's daddy that is cooking or mommy, or you use water to cook. You may want to ask me, what if I want to fry plantain? You need water to wash your plantain before you fry. You use water to wash your frying pan or pot, as the case may be, before you do the frying. So water is used for cooking. Water is also used for washing in the house. Domestic use of water is what we are talking about for washing. We are moving to another use of water, which is transportation. Water is used for transportation. What is transportation? It's the movement of goods and services on water from one place to the other. You move in canoes on water. You move in ships, ferries on water. Even submarines that take military men and women move on water or in water, as the case may be. So water is used for transportation. Yes. We also have industrial use of water. Water is used in our industries to produce things that we use. Products come out of industries made with water, like the juice industries and other drinks industries. They make use of water to produce what they sell to us. Yes. Another category of water use is agricultural use. If there is no water, crops will not even germinate, not to talk of producing fruits. Therefore, water is used to irrigate our farms, whether by rainfall or by artificial irrigation. That is supplying water to the farm by ourselves. Water is used in fishery. No water, no fish. Fish don't live on the land. They live in water. Want to go into fishery? You need water. In agriculture. Now, We have talked about water all through. What is water? What are the sources of water? What are the uses of water? I want to ask you some questions to know that you have been following me. And if you have just joined us, you can still answer the questions. Describe water. Describe water. Remember, earlier I said that water can either be good or bad. So it must be in your consciousness when you are describing water. How do you describe water? How are you describing it? I've heard some of you say, again, that it is odorless, colorless, and tasteless. And we said earlier that that definition can only be true when water is clean, when water is pure, when water is good. Therefore, water is a liquid that is odorless, colorless, and tasteless when it is pure. Where can we get water from? What are the sources of water? The water you use in your house, the water you use in your school, the water we use on the farm. Where do we get it from? We can get water from our wells, from the spring, from boreholes, from oceans and seas, from rivers and streams, and so on and so forth. Anywhere that water comes from without man's effort to produce water, except to drill or to dig, is a source of water. What are the uses of water? The uses of water in this lesson were categorized into domestic use, industrial use, agricultural use. Now tell me the uses of water domestically. What do you use water for in your house? You might have used water today. What are the things that you have used water for in your house? Those are the domestic uses of water. In this lesson, we have been able to mention drinking as a domestic use of water. We use it for cooking. We use water for washing. And when you bath, you use water. When you go to the toilet, if you are using a water system toilet, you use water. All these are domestic uses of water. We said we use water in the industries to produce things. To produce other things for our use. And we're able to mention beverage making industries. The ones that produce drinks. We mentioned agriculture as another category of use of water. Water is used for irrigation on the farm. We use it in fishing, in fishery. And we use water for transportation to move our goods and services from one point to the other. Making use of canoes, ferries, and so on and so forth. I want to leave you with a question. If you are listening, I want you to describe water in your own words. I just described water in my own words. I said water is not odorless, tasteless, and colorless until it is pure. Look at water around you. Put water in a cup. Describe it. I said it is a liquid. Describe it in your own way. Now, we've been able to mention some sources of water. Look at all these sources mentioned: rain, river, stream, spring, well, and borehole. Which one is the ultimate source of water out of all these that have been mentioned? That without this particular one, others may not be able to give us water as they are trying to do. Which of the sources of water is the ultimate that is the one that helps others to have water? And thirdly, what are the other uses of water apart from the ones that we have discussed in this class? Social studies encourages creative thinking. I want you to think creatively by these questions and send your answers to the number that will be provided immediately after this lesson. I want to appreciate your listening and to implore you to join us next time on this station. Thank you very much.
Thank you.